G'day F1 fans, the Chinese Grand Prix, great to have a back-to-back weekend, and it also doubles as a sprint race weekend. Mick, you're back, mate. Good to see you. Quick one, what did you think of the racing out in Melbourne last time out?
Interesting. It was interesting. It was good. Look, we got to see some sort of a pecking order. It would have been nice to see Max and Oscar up there as well, just to see where Red Bull are really at. Isaac, I think, did an amazing job until he had the failure, but would have just been interesting to see the true pace of Max. And if he had something for that Ferrari and the Mercedes, mate, that Mercedes is a bullet. Unless you're trying to get it off the line, and then the Ferrari is the car to be in.
The rocket.
The rocket.
The red rocket.
No, but look, I thought it was, mate, those first, basically until the first, was it the VSC? Mate, without the VSC and a safety car or anything like that, we could have potentially seen racing like that for the whole race, which is really, really exciting.
Yeah, I'm definitely torn because it is really hard to watch the onboards and seeing these cars pace drop off, lifting and coasting on a straight.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, if we get a lot of racing like we did in that first 10 laps in Melbourne, could be interesting, like you said. But I'm sure we'll find out more in Shanghai this week, particularly with the Red Bull. I think that's a really good point. I don't think we've seen the true pace of Red Bull at this stage. They're not quite in the same conversation as Mercedes and Ferrari, but where are they really? Like, how close are they? So,
well, yeah, and like, what's the gap between them and McLaren, say? Like you said, Mercedes, Ferrari, then right behind them is McLaren and Red Bull, and we pretty much saw the gap those four teams have on the rest of the field, right? Max literally tore through that field like it was standing still. It'd be interesting to see this weekend, provided they don't have any more reliability issues, and Max can get up there and get amongst it, to see just how close they really are.
Well, China last year was a sprint race as well. This is the place where we saw Lewis Hamilton get that sprint race win.
It was the only win for Ferrari last year, and then it all went to shit, didn't it?
Well, there was a lot of excitement around it. And basically the next day, that's when it all went to shit, as you said, as both Ferraris were disqualified in the main race.
Yeah.
Last year, the main race was won by Oscar Piastri, so he'll be looking to double down on that after the disaster last week. I still think Mercedes arrive in China as the team to beat.
For sure.
Weather-wise, seems to be that there's no rain on the horizon, so quite cool temperatures, 18 degrees or air temp.
Yep.
Projected the tyres, I believe, C2, C3, C4 as far as compounds go. This weekend is going to be pretty crazy just because that extra element of all the energy management, they only have that one practice session to get out on track and figure out the best strategy based on that. I'm sure the sim drivers back at the factories have a plan based on it, but is the correlation going to be
same?
On point.
Yeah, and I mean, we've generally seen over a sprint weekend, right? It kind of mixes the grid up for the sprint race, and then we get to Sunday, and Sunday's pretty boring because they've kind of already done half a race, so they know how the strategy is going to play out, and then it just becomes a bit of a mundane kind of race unless something big happens. But this year, that's definitely not going to happen. What we see on Saturday and to what we see on Sunday, the thing is, man, reliability is going to still be such a massive factor. Look, I thought reliability would be a factor in Melbourne, but I didn't realise it was going to be such a big factor. To be honest, man, I kind of feel like we're going to see something very similar to what we saw in Australia, with mechanical failures, cars struggling to get off the line, virtual safety cars, maybe even a safety car. But then, like I said earlier, you throw Max into the equation, you throw Oscar up there, and it might look a little bit different. But I don't know. You've got to put a banana skin or something underneath that Mercedes, because that thing is going to be so hard to beat.
Well, we'll start off with Mercedes. Yeah, team to beat, obviously. I mean, if you look at the pace, the one-lap pace out of Melbourne last week, they were just head and shoulders above everyone. But I still don't believe the Ferraris quite hooked it up. I don't think they hooked up in Q3.
I still think they're a fair way off in qualifying. They were scrappy. They didn't quite get it together, so maybe they'll close that gap a little bit. I still think there's 3-4 tenths there. When that Mercedes in clear air and switches the thing on in the party mode, man. That thing's a weapon.
Do you think Kimi can go one better this week?
He's going to keep him honest. He's going to be there or thereabouts. But, I mean, he will take a lot of confidence just out of that weekend, the way he bounced back after that crash, to get out in qualifying, get the job done, get it on the front row still with a car that probably wasn't 100%, and then have the struggle at the start and to come back the way he did. He'll take a lot of confidence out of that. He should be there with George because that car's the car to beat.
Yeah, I'm going to state the obvious here. I mean, I don't even have to ask you. Clearly, they're in the hunt for another 1-2, realistically.
Yeah.
But again, reliability, we may see some other funny things come out at China.
Yep.
Now, Ferrari, I think Melbourne was a result that possibly got away from the strategy perspective. Did they have enough pace or race pace to match Mercedes? Look, that question was posed to Charles Leclerc after the race, and he didn't think so.
Yeah.
But I think most people generally believe that they're actually not that far off when it comes to race pace.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, they seem to have a lot stronger race car. The one-lap stuff might be their Achilles heel. Look, good to see Charles carried on from where he left off last year. Not happy, despite being on the podium. You know, Charles is, the one-lap king. He's definitely going to be in the hunt. Lewis, if he can just get qualifying, because for me, that last stint of the race, man, he was a lot stronger than Charles. And that's where I believe Lewis, if he's going to have an advantage over Charles, that's where it is. It's the race management. Ferrari have got to get on top of this strategy. That did hurt them. And I think that's what will let them down again. Because like I said, if there was no virtual safety cars and we literally just saw lap after lap racing, I do believe maybe Ferrari did have something for them.
I remember in my prediction, initially I was going to go for Charles Leclerc at the win because you went for him with the win. And remember what I said to you? I said, yeah, he should win it, but Ferrari's going to muff the strategy.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it wasn't like a massive blunder.
No.
Let's be honest. It wasn't a huge blunder, but I think Hamilton's radio message regarding splitting the two Ferraris was extremely valid.
Yeah, of course.
And they just missed the trick on that one.
Yeah.
But again, they're in the mix for the win this weekend.
Yeah.
They'll be there or thereabouts. But let's see. Maybe they bring the rotisserie wing. I don't know.
Well, possibly because it's got that massive long straight, doesn't it? The back straight.
Oh, it does. It is a long one.
That massive long straight, man, that's going to help like Mercedes because they run the bigger turbos too. Whereas, a Ferrari will reach maximum speed before it starts to clip a lot quicker because it does have a smaller turbo. So that's where I think they might struggle a little bit.
Bit worried about watching the onboards on that straight because get 3/4 down.
They just get out.
Speed just starts dropping out.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Well, wouldn't they drop like 50k or something in Australia?
Yeah.
So you
it's quite aggressive too. It's quite an aggressive drop.
Yeah. So with that long straight, because you come onto that straight fairly quickly too, don't you? Because remember you've got that cambered. It's a right-hand corner, isn't it? But it's like
I'm pretty sure it's a right-hand corner.
Yeah, it's like a big bowl. So you carry quite a bit of speed coming onto that straight anyway. So like you said, man, they're going to get 3/4 down and they're just so it possibly could lose a lot more than 50 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, looking at it, and this is, I guess, the intriguing part with this whole energy management and why just having that one practice session, trying to maximize and find the perfect place to be deploying. But let's find out.
Well, that's also another thing too, right? Like, are we going to start to see like which cars are more circuit specific? We look at Racing Bulls. Are they going to be as strong as they were in Melbourne? So, like, yes, you've got
I hope so.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, you've got the engine part, but then there's the chassis part where some cars might be more dialed into one circuit as opposed to another. So again, we could have something completely different.
Could be a big shake-up. Yeah, well, top four are pretty much guaranteed, aren't they?
I don't even think you need to have a good car. A good chassis package, as long as you got that Mercedes engine in the back, you should go all right.
You should. And speaking of a team with the Mercedes engine in the back, and that is currently third place McLaren, Oscar really needs a big weekend here.
Yeah.
Needs a big weekend. But McLaren, to me, out of the top four, perhaps the most disappointing at the moment. And look, it's only one race weekend.
Yep.
Things can change quite drastically. Again, I just don't think they're quite in that same conversation with the two big teams at the moment, Ferrari and Mercedes. Maybe I'm writing them off far too early. What do you think of their chances?
To be honest, like I think even, was it Zach or Andre said, look, we're going to start slow. With their current history of development and the way they go about things, I think, it's not going to look like that come the summer break. I think they're going to close that gap a little bit. On a positive note, yes, Oscar didn't get to start the race, which was a shame, but he did look to have the wood on Norris pretty much the whole weekend. He looked a lot more comfortable. So hopefully that can continue.
He won here last year. He's got a bit of form.
Yeah, and Lando, well, yeah, I guess his main goal really is to make sure he beats Oscar. Because, yeah, I don't see them possibly on fighting for the podium, but, yeah, I don't see them battling for a win.
Yeah, neither do I. I think their best chances if, a couple of the teams ahead of them, Mercedes and Ferrari, have or possibly run into some reliability issues, and that is still massively possible. Red Bull Racing probably in the same boat, but again, they're the big mystery because we haven't seen Max Verstappen launch laps in full qualifying anger yet.
Yeah.
He started one.
Yeah, he started one. Hopefully we don't have any more of these issues and we get to see really where they are, not just one lap. Because I think the one lap stuff is, like we saw with Isaac, man, or Isaac. Yeah, I think they're pretty good on the one lap stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they are when Max gets in and amongst it.
Hadjar did a great job last week. Pulled a P3, wasn't it, in qualifying. And unfortunately for him, the technical issue, blowing a lot of smoke. Bad luck, or is there a little lingering issue there? But I think it's just one of those things. We'll probably see a few of these.
Oh, look, I have no doubt at some point we're going to see the Mercedes, man. We're going to see the Ferrari. Everyone, I think, is going to have some mechanical issues at some point. That's just part of racing brand new cars, brand new engines. On the flip side, though, Hadjar looked very strong, man, and he did a super job. He would have been pretty close to Max, I reckon.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been that far off. So this is going to be a very cool little battle this week.
Yep. And hopefully for Max, he does get a full qualifying in and he can get up amongst it and race up the front because he is not happy.
Not happy at all.
Does not like these new regulations, and he's quite openly telling everybody, which is fair enough.
It's fair enough, definitely. I think that there have been a few rumblings from some of the other drivers as well, but one thing I like about Verstappen, he doesn't mince his words.
Yeah.
Say it as it is, mate. Say it as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they are the great mystery out of the big four, realistically going into this weekend. So podium possibility, not sure about winning races just yet, but perhaps they surprise us. Well, best of the rest so far. Racing Bulls. Let's go. Let's go. Well, they look good. Man, I was surprised by their pace.
Hang on. Wasn't best of the rest.
Technically it was
Haas
with Behrman.
Yeah.
But I'm going best of the rest based on constructor points.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I get you there.
8 versus 6. 8 versus 6.
Take that any day of the week.
Very impressed with where they were in Melbourne.
Man, they look competitive, eh?
Very good. And it would have been interesting if Liam didn't get the bad start, where I think they would have had both cars in the top 10.
Yeah, I think they're easily both in the top 10.
And a shoe-in. So hopefully it's not a track-specific thing and it is indications of really where they're at, because over testing, we were a little worried that they were on the back end of that midfield group. So I'm looking forward to some fireworks again from Racing Bulls.
Well, that inter-team battle too, man's quite good, eh? I think.
Yeah, Lindblad, he's come out of the blocks firing, mate.
Well, he's set the bar now. You can't have a shocker. You set the bar now. That's the expectation now, is you got to deliver that every weekend. But what I did like about him, man, he seems like a pretty cool customer. He did that interview. I think it was with Jenson Button, and Jenson was, what's it like, the pressures of Formula One? And he's like, look, I'm not going to lie. It's my first race. I'm not going to speak out of turn here, but the pressure was mine because I'd worked my whole life to get here and I just wanted to do a good job. So you listen to that and you're like,
good job he did.
And you would imagine Permane's not going to whack a whole heap of pressure on him. And that probably helped him because he probably went out there with a clear mind, Yeah,
well, what I liked about him, he was punchy from the start.
Oh, yeah.
He was racy.
Yeah.
It was elbows out, but he picked his battles well.
Yeah.
And that's the type of race as a rookie you could only dream about.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't look out of place, eh?
No, not at all.
Didn't look out of place at
Not
all.
at all. And for a young guy, like, you mentioned the interview with Jensen Button. Yeah, he's got some grey matter upstairs.
Yeah, yeah.
By the sounds of things. He's, some people might think, he's a bit cocky, but I think it's just he's confident
Yeah.
in his ability.
Yeah.
There's also that footage, 5 or so years ago when he walked past Lando and was like, I'm going to see you in F1.
Yeah.
So he's pretty sure of himself.
Yeah. But
Look, there will be a few mistakes over the course of the season, no doubt, in a rookie year. But from this point forward, he's set his foundation.
just the belief that he belongs in F1, I think, too, is going to be massive.
You know what? Big boo-boo on my part. I was looking at Red Bull Racing ahead of Haas.
That's all
But
right.
you were right. You were right from the start. Haas has 6 points to Racing Bull's 4. Red Bull Racing with 8 points.
Yeah,
I need some glasses, clearly.
that's all right.
But I'm just going to blame Racing Bulls, Red Bull Racing, too similar.
Yeah.
Change the names, make them more can't even get my words out now. Must be dyslexic.
Well, get rid of Racing Bulls and just go back to V-Carb.
Yeah, back to V-Carb. Back to
Racing Bulls,
V-Carb.
Red Bull, like, man.
So we are a little back to front.
But that's
So
all
to
right.
be clear, Haas is the best of the rest at this point.
Yeah.
But Liam Lawson, before we get on to Haas, come on, mate, big one. I think he'll be pretty happy with his weekend. He did eventually outqualify Lindblad, and that is your first job, pretty close. Unfortunately, the start, and it's just one of those missed opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
points. Now, Haas, best of the rest.
Best of the
On the back of Ollie Behrman.
Mate.
The Behrman roars.
Yeah.
He
He
roars again.
from the back end of last season to now, he just seems a lot more comfortable than Ocon does. Look, I think Ocon might be struggling a little bit to come to terms with the car. He said the car felt good in qualifying, but then it felt completely different in the race. So whether something was broken or
But
something
realistically,
changed.
the qualifying wasn't
No, the qualifying,
that great anyway.
yeah, I was disappointed. I thought they were going to be a lot better. Goes to show maybe that Ferrari power unit is better in race trim.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
But Behrman, man, solid. Best way to start. Get on top of Ocon, put the pressure straight back on him straight away. Ocon's got a bit of work to do, man, because he can't be unhappy every weekend, and you can't be finishing behind Ollie too often.
Yeah.
So,
Well, what do you think? Top 10 this week? I would say they've got to be in for the top 10 this week.
yep.
But realistically, from Ocon's side, he has to get the wood on Behrman. He's
Yeah.
got to do it early.
Yeah, 100%.
Audi, 2 points in the constructors on the back of the P9 from Gabby Bortoletto out of Melbourne. Now, they do look quite competitive,
Yeah.
but there's definitely a question mark on reliability. We
That's-
saw Bortoletto pull up in the end of Q2 with an engine issue,
Yeah.
and then Hulkenberg wheeled off the grid.
That's probably, like you said, man, they look competitive, so that's probably the only Achilles heel. It looks like they've got a solid foundation, man, and hopefully they can keep trending that same way. But again, this is it. We're going to go to a new circuit. Is it going to be circuit specific?
Yeah.
Like we saw last year? Maybe, maybe not. But they look strong.
Hopefully Hulkenberg has a bit more luck this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a job by Gabby, man. Q3, stonker of a race. He had a solid race. Solid race, no mistakes. It was like quiet, man. It was like you didn't even really know he was there. That's how good he was. It was just quiet.
Just down the office.
See,
Just a pretty cool office to be in.
yeah.
I'll do that 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Give us a crack.
Yeah.
Give us a crack. Alpine. Like we had bigger expectations of them going into Melbourne.
Yeah.
And they were definitely off the pace, particularly the one-lap stuff, qualifying. Gasly did pick up a P10, pick up that point, but obviously off the back of reliability off the front. Don't really think they have the pace to trouble the top 10 at this point or at this stage, which is disappointing. Franco, though, come on, mate. You need a big one.
This is the thing, right? You can't trend like you have been.
I mean,
Especially
he wasn't far off Gasly's qualifying
Yeah.
last week. He did get hit with a penalty as well, which did
Well,
ruin
yeah,
the
that's
race.
true. That's true. And he
So
almost died off the start. So
Hey.
that
Fine reactions, Mr. Colapinto.
yeah, he just needs to be there with Gasly. That's it, pure and simple, because you need to be able to have both cars capitalize on someone like Audi, maybe V-Carb, Red Bull, any of those guys ahead of them having issues. They're not where they want to be. A lot of people had a lot more expectation on them. I know we did. I don't think they're far off. But again, like they rock up to China and be dynamite and Haas are terrible.
Yeah, could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could say the first 6 to 10 races this season, there will be some shakeups with upgrades and whatnot. Developmental war.
Yeah.
But I tell you who needs a shake up or a slim down, Williams.
Oh, bro.
Whoa.
That's got to be
Disappointing.
tough. It's got to be tough.
Had some reliability issues there. Carlos Sainz had a few issues, didn't get out in qualifying. Race pace, look, they didn't really look great out of Melbourne. Eddie, have there been any updates, like news come out? I mean, it's a bit early in the week. Generally, you hear things a bit later in the week.
Yeah,
but Williams start shedding the weight.
Really, the only thing I kind of heard was James Vowles talking a little bit about the engine, and he feels like they've been caught out with some things. Because you've got to remember, like they were another team like McLaren and Alpine that got the brand new power unit, the brand new spec power unit, just
Later.
before Melbourne. So they didn't run it in testing, whereas the factory Mercedes team did. There was a couple of little issues there that maybe caught them out. So hopefully they've learnt something and can get on top of that. But yeah, I mean, when your car's that much overweight as we kind of think it is, look, I don't think it's like 40 kilos, but I think it might be around the 20. You know, that's still a fair chunk when the guys ahead of you are not quite.
Well,
as
I keep
heavy.
getting ads on YouTube, the Tai Chi workouts, drop weight. Get into it, Williams. Bit of Tai Chi or, I don't know, 7-day juice fast or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got definitely their work cut out. And now onto the back markers, which is the expectation here.
Yep.
Cadillac. They were pretty, look, I think getting that first one out of the way was pretty impressive. Yes, they're off the pace. There's some niggles there regarding reliability. It was a relatively decent start.
Yeah.
I'd say for a new team.
I think it was. When you compare it to Aston Martin.
Oh, yeah.
And you think of like Cadillac, now 12 months old, 10 months old, whatever it was, and to be beating Aston Martin. I mean, okay, even if you don't score any points, but you're beating them. So you're doing a good job. They'll go into China with just trying to build on what they've done, just try and stop the reliability so you can build some consistency, and off the back of the consistency, the performance will start to come. They're still a fair way away.
They'll be perennial back markers for the season, but it's just, I've mentioned it before, as long as it can show improvements, that's I guess that's their big goal. Yeah, well, it was good to see Perez back out on track. He was pretty feisty.
Yeah,
reacquainted with Liam Lawson.
Picked up where they left off. I mean,
my heart was like, don't hit each other.
Oh, look, I think I was a little bit naughty on Checo's behalf. I think he could have given him a little bit more room.
Yeah, but there's a bit of fight in the old dog.
Yeah. Both of them.
That's what we want to see, right?
Yeah, both of them look pretty comfortable. Yeah. I think probably Perez maybe looked more comfortable out of the two.
Are you talking about Perez and Bottas?
Yeah.
Together? Yeah.
Yeah. They'll get there. Yeah. They'll get there. Yeah, it's just going to be a long season, a big season of learning.
Well, speaking of getting there, is Aston Martin going to get there?
They're nowhere near getting there. They're like so far off the mark.
Another testing session this week?
Yeah. Again, I don't know if we'll see them out like we saw in Australia, right? They did an installation lap or two or three laps, I think they did in practice one, came out, only ran one car in qualifying, and then obviously decided Alonso would do the qualifying and Stroll would do most of the race.
I think we see the same thing.
Yeah, again, you got to get on top of the engine issue. Because you can't do the laps with the engine issue, you don't even know where the chassis is. You know, they bring in upgrades. They brought a whole bunch of aero upgrades to Melbourne, but it's like if you don't,
if you can't run the car like near its maximum potential, you're bringing in these things.
Yeah, how do you know what's going to work?
Yeah, tough gig over there, man. Adrian Newey's probably kicking himself, taking on that extra responsibility of being team principal as well, because obviously a lot of this will rest on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Now, there'll be finger pointing. It's Honda's issue. It's this person's issue or whatnot.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, it's like, okay, even if they did come out and they ran last, but they did the whole race, they did all the sessions, then you go, okay, we're getting there.
Yeah.
And it's once the engine issue's sorted, then I think their rate of, they'll go up really quickly and they'll get on the pace fairly quickly. I have no doubt about that. But it's that engine issue, man, that is going to take a while. There's no easy fix. Like, they're talking about the vibrations being a possible nerve damage for the drivers.
Well, when my wife told me about that the other morning, she was trying to explain it to me because she just saw the headline regarding. I'm like, oh, come on, this is just some bullshit news. Like, it sounds, too far-fetched. And then, I saw the news later. And I was like, geez, they really are in the dumps. that far in the dumps.
Yeah, and it's like the vibration, obviously they're feeling it through the seat and the steering wheel, but it's the vibrations not only affecting them, it's affecting the gearbox and the battery, and that's where they're having a lot of trouble because they can't optimize the battery because of the vibration. So they've got to try and stop the vibration in the engine somehow without adding more weight and stuff like that. So it's like, wow, man, struggle street. And I dare say we will see not much too different from Melbourne.
Well, into predictions, into prediction mode. I'm up 1-0.
1-0 ski.
Well, this weekend with the sprint race, I think we go with sprint pole, sprint winner, and then we just do the normal pole and the podium for the feature race. So straight into it. Your sprint pole, your sprint winner.
Okay. The thing is, we're battling for points, so I want to be serious.
Yeah, so you put a bit of competition in this, it becomes more complex and far more serious.
Yeah.
This is serious stuff.
I'm going to take a gamble. I'm going to say Kimi for sprint pole.
Kimi.
But George will win the sprint race.
Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting. Oh, mate, when I hear that, it's like, I want to go with that.
But, man.
I'm going to flip it.
Yeah. Okay.
George with the pole, but Kimi with the race win.
That'd be cool to see. That'd be cool to see.
That would be pretty cool. And who have you got for feature? Pole and then your podium.
So pole, I'm going to go George. Race win, George. Second. I want to say Charles, but I think if Kimi's there, I think he's going to... No, I'll stick with it. I'm going to go George, Charles, and this time I'm going to say Lewis. He's going to go one better.
I was thinking Lewis because he did well here last year in the sprint, and I thought maybe he'll go well the second time around. All right, for pole position for the feature race, I'll go with George. Winner is going to be George Russell. Second place is going to be... I'll go with Kimi Antonelli. It's going to be another 1-2.
Yep.
And then third place, I'm going to go with Charles Leclerc.
Yep. So we're going to have a repeat.
It's going to be a repeat.
That's absolutely, like I said,
it could be on.
I'll pick my podium, but if I was going to pick another podium, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. We're going to go with that, which means we're going to get something completely different this week, which is good.
Yep.
So the race should be good because it's very, very rare. I think out of all of last year, there was one time when one of us got all three right.
Yep.
So that's in 24 odd rounds.
Yeah.
So the chances are we're going to get a very much mixed up podium in that, which will be cool.
It's going to be good, man. What about your
The bold prediction.
Bold prediction. Chili, hot sauce.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you two. The hot tip.
The hot tip. Here we go.
The hot tip. Coming in strong with the hot tip.
Just give me the tip. That's it.
My bias is kicking into overload.
Yeah.
Liam Lawson, he is going to finish in the feature race. I'm just talking in the feature race.
Yeah.
He's going to definitely be in the top 10. He's going to be around 6th position.
All right.
He's going to have a stonker.
All right. I'll go with that same theme then, and we'll go bias.
Yeah.
Oscar's going to finish 4th. He's not, but he will.
And I don't want to say the obvious of the smooth brain or, poor execution of the weekend, because we could just go straight with Aston Martin basically every day of the week.
Yep.
But I have a feeling, I think Lindblad's going to make a mistake.
Okay.
I think he's cracked on in Melbourne, comes out to China, and then just makes a typical rookie mistake. There's going to be something there with Arvin Lindblad.
Okay.
So, I'm sort of, both my picks are regarding Racing Bulls.
Okay. I'm going to go, not so much to make a mistake, but Esteban Ocon is going to struggle again this weekend. And then I think the pressure is going to start to mount. Yes, we're only 2 races in, and it is a very long season, but if we get a repeat of Melbourne, ooh.
Aston Martin, no cars are going to finish the race?
Oh, look, I think you could pretty much put your house on it at this stage.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's a rinse and repeat for at least China and Japan. And then we have Bahrain and Saudi, which actually will give them a bit of time, because it looks like now there's reports those 2 races are going to be replaced with something else though, right?
I thought they weren't going to replace them.
Okay, so if they're not going to replace them, that's good. That will give them literally what? A 4-week break?
All right. F1 schedule. So the Bahrain Grand Prix is Sunday, 12th of April.
Yep.
So what's that? That's almost 4 weeks away.
Yep.
And then the Saudi Grand Prix is a week later. So it was a double header.
Okay.
So Japan is 29th of March. So there is actually that's 2 weeks between Japan and Bahrain.
Yeah. And what's the gap between Saudi and the next race?
Miami Grand Prix, 4th of May. So basically, if there's no replacement, you're looking at the whole of April without any racing.
A 4-week break.
Yeah.
I would dare say they may not replace both of them. I dare say they might replace one of them. Just because I feel like Formula One will not want to have a massive gap like that in the season.
Yeah. Do you think they could go down the route of the old Weezer years where we had remember when we had was it the Styrian Grand Prix and the Austrian Grand Prix?
Yeah.
Back-to-back weekends, same racetrack?
Possibly. I guess it just depends what circuits are available. I mean, possibly go to Portimao.
I mean, you're probably looking at the logistics, Japan, after Japan. Come on, Sepang, let's do it.
Yeah, let's just have a double header.
Double at Sepang.
Sepang.
Let's go Malaysia.
Yeah.
Look, they could maybe double a Japanese Grand Prix. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We're going to find out.
Realistically, I highly doubt, based on being in the region and what's going on.
Yeah.
Definitely not an expert, but it's
Bahrain's definitely not going to happen. I don't feel
Bahrain, Bahrain's pretty bad. Saudi, they may get away with because it's in Jeddah.
Yeah.
So that's further to the, oh my God, think of my maps, to the west.
Yeah.
So it's on the other side of Saudi Arabia. So they may have possibly, but I guess just in general, the region is extremely volatile, and I just don't know if they'll go down that route, taking that risk.
Even though it's only 4 weeks away? No way. No way.
Yeah, look, a lot can happen in a few weeks, but nah, mate.
Looking at it? Nah.
Yeah.
That's my hot tip. Nah.
That's the hot tip. Nah. Final thoughts?
No, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. I think the whole weekend is going to be pretty wild. Like I said, the sprint race is going to give the team some learning, which I think will then make Sunday's race possibly a little bit more exciting. We're going to see some more DNFs, some more mechanical issues. I'm really looking forward to seeing Max get amongst it and get a true read of where Red Bull really are. And hopefully Racing Bulls can stay in the mix. And it looks like Audi, man, are doing a solid job and they can get up there with them.
Don't forget Oscar.
And
Let's go, Oscar.
Man, it's still so much up in the air in the second race of the season. We don't even really, I still don't feel like we have a true read on a proper pecking order.
No.
The car that's at the front. So I'm looking forward to it, man. So until the next one, we will catch ya.
Catch ya.